sucked out of him, life drained, and then he's going to do other stuff. We pop our Divine Guardian up there. 20% of all that damage is reduced. That could be 1,000,000 damage. 20% reduction, it's 200,000 less damage. It's awesome, guys. Sacred Duty, our Judgment's Avenger's Shield, a 50% chance of making your next Shield of Righteous a critical strike. So we know our Shield Slam does our most threat. Our Shield of Righteous hits some big, fatty threat with our 3 Holy Power. So we're going to be looking every time we get that 3 Holy Power to make sure we've got this Sacred Duty proc up. Doesn't happen all the time, don't get me wrong. But we've got a 50% chance of doing it from both Judgment and Avenger's Shield. And if we have that up, we've got a guaranteed big crit threat ability. It's awesome for the pull, guys. When you're going in with your pull, you want to make sure you just stick this fatty Shield of Righteousness on. If you get a little bit unlucky, it's not going to happen, but you've got a 50% chance, because generally when we pull, we're going to throw our Avenger's Shield. That has a chance of proccing it. We're also going to judge if it hasn't procced before we even get to the mob. Really good to start off our threat. Shield of the Templar, reduce the cooldown of our Avenging Wrath, which is a big threat boost to us, our big threat cooldown, and our Guardian of the Ancient Kings. A big word to say, Shield Wall. Is basically what it is. It's a copy of a shield wall. We're going to get this badass Guardian who's going to come stand next to us and protect us. Essentially, it's going to cut all our damage down by 40%. It's really, really good, guys. So, what else does it do? It gives our Divine Plea generate 3 Holy Power straight off. So this is, we're back to the pull. You can use it in the middle of the fight as well. We're about to pull. Let's think about it. We're about to pull. So we pop Divine Plea. Boom, 3 Holy Power. We throw our Avenger's Shield. Boom, Sacred Duty. If it's not procced, we can judge as we're running in if we've got time. Probably going to get a Sacred Duty. You've got 2 50% chances there of getting a Sacred Duty. Get Sacred Duty up. You've already got 3 Holy Power. Your secondary hit is going to be a big, critical Shield of the Righteous. You've probably got Avenging Wrath up. So you've got a big damage boost, Shield of the Righteous right at the very start. Our hardest hitting threat ability. Good luck getting threat off you once that's happened. And then we've got Ardent Defender right at the end, our cooldown button, our continue button, our stick another quarter in the machine button. Every time you put this up, you are not going to die. It's impossible for you to die while Ardent Defender is up. So powerful. And this is what really puts Prot Pallies ahead of the game at the moment, is because we can cheese certain abilities that would give everybody else. So you look at, say, if you've done any Firelands, there's a boss in there called Major Domo Staghelm. He turns into a giant, scary scorpion and has the ability to hit the whole raid. He cleaves the whole raid for like 500 million damage that you have to split amongst the raid. As a Prot Paladin, when he's about to cleave, we can pop our Ardent Defender and singularly soak all that damage because it can't possibly kill us. Absolutely amazing. Really good. He still reduces damage taken by 20%, so it's not as if you need it only when you're about to die. Pop it anyway, 20% reduced damage, great cooldown to use. Then we moved into the Retry. We picked up Crusade, increased the damage of our Crusade Strike and Hammer the Righteous. We're going to be using that all the time anyway, so we want a nice damage boost on that. Improved Judgment, this is what I'm talking about on the pull. We get a 20% range on our Judgment, so we could cast that miles away, throw the Judgment down as we're moving in, possibly get that Sacred Duty proc we're all fishing for all the time. Rule of Law, increase the critical strike chance of your Crusade Strike and Hammer the Righteous. Absolutely amazing. Just fatty crits, more threat. And I always take this on my Prot Pally guys. Some people refer to it, do the enchant, but as I said in the Prot Warrior guide, getting to the mob first is your priority as a tank, because if you're there first, good luck getting threat off you if you already used 2 or 3 global cooldowns on the mob before DPS even starts getting on the mob. And this gives us our run speed. So we can put that in, and then we can enchant a nice big fat mastery bonus on our boots. Purely because we took that, we've got our run speed from this talent, so we can use big fatty blocking chance on our boots. Really, really nice. If you're not happy with any of those and you're wondering, well, I don't really want the crit chunk, the other point I would put in there is Judgments of the Pure. If you wish, increase your melee haste every time you judge. It's a nice talent, but I prefer these, and I certainly prefer Pursuit of Justice just to get our run speed up. Allows us to get to that mob much quicker. So let's go to our glyphs. Glyph of Hammer the Righteous, because we're going to be AoE tanking all the damn time, so we want to buff the damage of that. This is where we don't worry about hitting expertise, because our Glyph of Seal of Truth, our Glyph of Choice, and our Seal of Choice grants us 10 expertise. That is so much rating. 10 expertise. I cannot express to you how much rating from gear you need to get 10 expertise. I would wish that my DPS class, my DPS Death Knight, my main character, could have such a glyph. So awesome. We can then reforge into all sorts of other good stuff. So as a tank where expertise is important, this glyph is amazing, and the other tanks cry themselves to sleep that they don't have something similar. Really do. We also glyphed our Shield of the Righteous. We don't want to be a pure AoE tank. because then we get to a boss and our threat might be garbage. So we take Glyph of Shield of Righteous, which gives us that 10% buff, so when we're tanking a boss, we're still in good, steady hands, okay? What else did we take? Nothing major, guys. These are really mana reductions. You have your pick a choice in there, really. This is quite important for some situations. Glyph of Holy Wrath. When we Holy Wrath Elementals and Dragonkins, it's going to stun them. So it's like a shockwave for Prot Paladins. Doesn't work on humanoids, but in general, there's a lot of mobs in Cataclysm that are Elementals or Dragonkin. We're going to be Holy Wrathing anyway. So all good. Take that glyph, get that stun in there, because every time they're stunned, you're not taking damage. One quick glyph I want to talk to you about, because we are talking about magical damage. We scroll on down to our major glyphs. This glyph here, Divine Protection, which is another low cooldown we have to reduce our damage. Removes the physical damage reduction of your Divine Protection. Now, just to tell you, Divine Protection is a 20% physical damage reduction. Not that's a lie, 20% damage reduction. Reduces your damage taken by 20%. If we glyph it, it gets rid of the physical portion, which we're not that bothered about, remember, because we're doing a lot of block, and we've got Holy Shield as well to increase our block taken. Increases your magical damage by 20% reduction. So this then makes Divine Protection a 40% magical damage reduction. So if we look at a boss like Nefarian, big fatty dragon, and he wants to breathe on you with his shadow flame, and that's happening all the time, we combine glyphed Divine Protection, which is a 40% reduction, with this, rotating these in and out, we're hardly going to take any magical damage from his breath, okay? And that breath might be hitting for 160, 170,000 damage. Really strong, nasty dragon's breath. And as a tank, we don't want to spike. We don't like it when our HP goes down, down, up, down, up, down, up. We don't like that. We don't feel comfortable. We start panicking, blowing cooldowns. What we do is we predict that damage using our trinket. So we get breath 1, trinket, hardly take any damage. Breath 2 come before the trinket's off cooldown. Divine Protection, 40% reduction with the glyph. So we then cut that down even more. Really good stuff, guys. So if you are tanking something with heavy magical damage, go ahead, glyph that out. The rest of the glyphs aren't that important. For heroics, I don't need it. We haven't got any major magical damage incoming anyway, so I don't bother with it for heroics. But certainly, this is my single target boss build that I do. If I do join a raid, let's say I need to go to Baradin Hold, or the guys in the guild say, "Can you come and tank this run for us?" Sure, I'll come along. I do use it on bosses that I do. See, I use it on my single target build where I'm going to be taking heavy breath damage and a lot of magical damage is going on in the fight. Makes it so much better. All right, guys. So a quick overview of how we run, and then I'm going to dive into the heroic. We want our Seal of Truth on all the time. Bish bosh. What are we looking to do? We're just looking to generate holy power. So what we've got our Crusader Strike or our Hammer of the Righteous to do that. Watch. Hammer of the Righteous generates 1. And there's our Grand Crusader proc. We throw off an Avenger's Shield. We get 2. So in essence, you have Hammer of the Righteous. Then you have a free global cooldown to do whatever you want with. So we want to use Judgment all the time, because Judgment's going to give our mana back. See that? Judgments of the Wise. Regaining 3% of your mana. Keep your mana up. What else have we got? So you're going to go sort of Hammer of the Righteous. Then say Judgment. Now our Hammer of the Righteous is back. So we're Hammer of the Righteous again. Now what do we pick? Either Avenger's Shield, or Holy Wrath, or Consecration are the other choices. So we've got 5 things that all have long cooldowns to use in between our Hammer of the Righteous or our Crusader Strike. And then when we get 3, if we're single targeting, we're going to use our Shield of the Righteous, like we said. We're going to fish for that Holy Sacred Duty proc. See, this is the buff here, Sacred Duty. We're then going to fire off a big fatty slam, 18k guaranteed crit. If we're against AoE tanking, what do we want to do with lots of mobs? Do we want to do a single target shield slam? Not really. What do we want to do with our 3 holy power? We want to use Inquisition. Inquisition, increase holy damage done by 30%. This is so much better for our AoE tanking, guys. Really is good. Get Inquisition on. Use that all the time while you're generating your holy power. And then just keep that up while you're AoE tanking. You always want to have Inquisition up when you're AoE tanking. So if you're tanking heroics, get your Inquisition up and keep it up, okay, guys? So that's it. So you basically got 2 options for generating holy power. One for AoE and one for tanking. And then you've got 2 options to use when you've got 3 holy power. One for AoE, one for tanking. So think of it in pairs. I've got more than one mob. So what am I doing? I'm using Hammer of the Righteous to AoE tank them. And at 3 combo points, I'm going to be using my Inquisition to buff all the rest of my AoE damage. Take it back a step further. So we've got 1 mob, we've got a boss, Crusader Strike to generate holy power, and then with those 3 holy powers, we're going to use our Shield of the Righteous. Don't be afraid as well, guys. If you remember to alternate as you get down to the last mobs. If you've got one with really high health, go ahead and stick a Shield of the Righteous on that with your 3 Holy Power, because you're down to 1 mob, and that'll do enough threat so you can move on to your next pack, okay? I'm going to show some demonstrations of that in Heroic. So let's go ahead and jump in. We'll not do a Zandalari, because that's going to take us absolutely forever. See if we've got a nice big instant group, so I don't have to cut the video. Wouldn't that be nice? Oh, yes. Happy days. Let's see what we get. Let's hope we get lucky and get something really interesting. Oh, I swear to God, you saw that, guys. I didn't make that happen by any means. So we've got Shadowfang Keep, which is going to be an excellent demonstration of all our abilities. And you saw it live on here. There was no editing there at all. Pure luck. Random dungeon. Let's go in. Remember, guys, so what's important as soon as we get into dungeon 1, check we've got an aura on. So we want to use Devotion Aura. We've got a Pally and a Druid. So we're just going to go ahead, stick our Blessing of Might on just in case the other Paladin hasn't. We should be getting Mark of the Wild for the other talents. Let's dive straight in. Boom, boom, boom. Hammer of the Righteous. Let's get our AoE tanking. Holy Wrath, because these are dead and it's going to stun them. Use our Judgement. Yeah, now we've got our 3 combo points. Inquisition's up like a boss. Throwing out our Avenger's Shield, which is going to cleave as well. Let's throw in our shield block, because we seem to be taking some extra damage. We're up to 3 Holy Power again, so let's move on. We've got our... Oh, yeah, keep our Inquisition up. Oh, mob from behind. Remember, as a tank, guys, if a mob's hitting you from behind, that is epic suck. You don't want that, because that means you're not dodging, you're not blocking, you're not parrying. You take a lot of damage. So that's that pack. Enough threat on that pack. Move on. Inquisition on. Boom! Next pack. Let's drop a Consecration. Get some big ticks going. Boom! Use our Divine Protection to reduce our damage intake. We're looking bad. Looking grim. Ardent Defender, just in case we're about to die. Our Paladin is certainly... Our Resto Druid is certainly struggling here. It's okay. We've got AD on. Yeah, baby. Come on. We're back off. Oh, oh, oh. Boom! Boom! So much AoE tanking. Inquisition back up. Not a piece of losing aggro here, guys. Keep our Judgment on. Keep our mana nice and high. Yeah, down you go. Oh, yeah. So our Druid's going to be looking a little bit ropey on the mana there, guys. Always keep an eye on your Druid's mana. Well, not a Druid. Your healer's mana. That is the only mana you care about as a tank. You want to make sure your healer's mana is swish. Let him drink up. As soon as his mana is decent, we're going to dive straight in here. We're going to throw on... Yeah. We're pirating it up. Come on. We've got ninja skills. We're losing holy power. So what we're going to do now? Our mana's looking decent. We're going to use our 1 holy power to throw on an Inquisition, Divine Plea, Wings, Shield, Sacred Duties proc. We've popped a nice big fat 28k crit straight off the bat, guys. Interrupt. Remember, just because you're a tank doesn't mean you can't interrupt. And all we're doing is getting 3 holy powers, Shield of the Righteous, using anything in between. Really nice. Dum dum dum. We've got our Sacred Duty up again. So our threat is just awesome. Mistimed the raid wall, guys, so I didn't get the bonus then. So we're going to let the guy heal once. There it is. Boom. And then we're going to carry on. Why don't we throw on our Holy Radiance, because we're still a tank. But we're still a Paladin, should I say. We're still a Pally, so we've still got all these abilities which help the group. Dodge. Yeah, yeah, son. Woo! Now that's your Grand Crusader proc, you see that? We haven't got Sacred Duty up, but we've got 3 Holy Power. Not going to get the proc this time, unfortunately. So we'll just carry on. It's not a big deal. Another Grand Crusader. Look how quickly we get our Holy Powers up now, guys, when that Grand Crusader starts going. Let's throw up our shield wall now. Hopefully we can reduce. He's about to do the AoE. Let's hope so. If not, it's completely mistimed. There it is. So our Divine Protection, reducing that damage down. Just helping our healer out a little bit. Still got him low. Unfortunate. 1 heal. That'll do. We're going into our last phase now. Throwing a shield block. Just make sure our healer's okay while he's worrying about the rest of the group. A pretty mistimed